In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what user-generated content is, how people like Alicia are making $1,000 for a single video, and ultimately how you can get started. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Dakota Crane. I am 23 years old. I'm a full-time UGC creator. And thanks to UGC, I was able to buy a 5-bedroom house. I was able to retire my wife so she doesn't have to work anymore. She can stay home with my daughter or go run around and hit the Target trips or literally do whatever they want. I was able to pay off a vehicle, travel more, and ultimately just live a more fruitful life, leave my 9-to-5, thanks to UGC. Now, life wasn't always this great, so let me kind of tell you my backstory just so you kind of know where we went and how we got here and how you can ultimately do the same thing. So when I was 17, I realized college is not for me. I don't think college is going to help me really make a lot of money and build wealth over time. So I ended up skipping it. When I was 19, I started working for the United States Postal Service, and within about 3 months, I excelled into acting supervision. Now, a couple days after my 20th birthday, I accepted a management position, a permanent position that is, in Arizona. I can remember a couple weeks after moving to Arizona, getting a paycheck that was around $3,500 and just thinking to myself, wow, if I'm 20 years old getting these kind of paychecks, then where am I gonna be in 2-3 years from now? But what I didn't know is that job was slowly going to kill my soul, and about 6 months later, my best friend Max would commit suicide. Long story short, I was making a lot of money, I was grieving, and I was very miserable from my job. My wife and I ended up moving to Florida for a little bit where I was managing distribution, and during that time, I ended up helping to testify in favor of legislation that does make it illegal in the state of Kansas to coerce someone into suicide, like what happened to my best friend Max. Now, while I was down at the Capitol in Topeka, I ended up finding out about the position of the Youth Suicide Prevention Coordinator for the Kansas Attorney General's office, and I decided, hey, I want to take a pay cut and do something meaningful, so I ended up applying and accepting this position. However, it was the worst 3 months of my life, and I became extremely depressed. The office I worked for was amazing, however, just working for government in itself is super slow and very inefficient and ineffective because you have way too many people trying to control things or make things happen in the way they want, and nothing ever gets done, leaving me extremely depressed because I felt like I was not making a difference. Now, because of this, me and my wife decided, hey, it's just time to cut our losses and move back home to Wichita, Kansas. Ended up moving in with her parents, which was ultimately very good because we were able to save for a house. However, I had no idea what the heck I was doing. I was 20 years old, making extremely good money. We have to move back in with her parents. It was a humiliation ritual, ultimately, for a young guy who thinks he's all that, right? And a good humiliation ritual at that because it made me find out about UGC. We moved back in, I'm making $17 an hour, I'm 250 pounds. I know I have to make some changes, especially because my wife is pregnant with our daughter. So through this process, I end up making some money clipping. My buddy Aiden introduces me to UGC, and the rest is history. We locked in, we lost some weight, we started making money with UGC, and now we don't have to clock into any position that we don't want to. I get to make money just making videos for companies. Now, what exactly is UGC? Clearly you can hear how it's changed my life, but let's go into it a little bit deeper. We'll talk about what it is, where you can ultimately get started at, how other people, in the space are doing well and what they're doing, and we'll just go quick here. UGC, user-generated content, it's when regular people make the content for the companies, typically these 20 to 40 second TikTok, Instagram Reels. What happens is you will make a brand new account, new Instagram, new TikTok, sometimes a new YouTube Shorts account, depending on if the brand wants it, and you are posting videos promoting these companies directly from these new accounts. So you don't have to post it on your main account. You don't need to be an influencer. You don't have to have any following at all. One of the first people that I helped learn do UGC, Brady, he has under 100 followers on his personal account, but he's still been able to make thousands upon thousands of dollars just from posting for other companies. Now, this may sound super simple. It's honestly because it is. Now, obviously you can see that I'm making good money doing UGC. It's changed my life. I have, ultimately freedom now because of it. But is it working for other people? Well, it is. Let's talk about one of my clients, Alicia, who made $1,000 from one video. So she worked with this company and she still is working with them. And she had one video do over 1 million views last month. That video, because it hit 1 million views, gave her an extra $1,000 because how the pay structure works with UGC is companies will pay you typically per video, and then you'll have a view incentive, right? Maybe that's $1 per 1,000 views. Maybe it's, hey, 1,000,000 views is $1,000. It depends how they tier it out. Now, she also had 2 other videos for that company go over 500,000 views. So she made $250 extra dollars per video. So that was a total of $1,500 extra, not including the $700 she's just getting paid to make the 30 videos. And this doesn't even count some of the lower view bonuses she's hit, but just off of a couple of videos, 3 videos, she made $1,500. And shoot, even me last week, I had a video that popped off to about 250K views, and I ended up making $555 from that one video. Now you're probably thinking, okay, where do I even find these deals? So there are gonna be a lot of different marketplaces you can use. The first one is going to be SideShift, and I am going to link all of these in the description below. SideShift is going to be an amazing beginner platform, and you're gonna find that it is really the #1 platform in the UGC space. A lot of times, even companies that I will work with that I will not even apply to these gigs on SideShift, it's companies that have contacted me, or maybe they've posted the job inside of my premium Discord. A lot of times they're even using SideShift to track everything because SideShift has really good payouts in the sense of, let's say you apply for a deal on SideShift and the company is being slow to respond, maybe they haven't paid you timely, then you can contact SideShift and they will ensure that it's taken care of. It's super awesome. The other great thing about SideShift is they have a lot of performance-based deals as well for beginners. Now, what that means is, let's say you're getting paid $2 per 1,000 views. Well, let's say you have a video that hits 1,000,000 views. Well, that's $2,000 right there. And, even though you're not getting paid per video, it's still an excellent way to make a lot of money. And not only that, just build your portfolio. Because a lot of times new creators will, pass up these CPM deals thinking, oh, I just gotta get the one that's gonna pay me $25 a video or $30 a video, because then I'm guaranteed $30 for a video that's gonna take me 5 to 10 minutes to make. However, it's very important to understand that when you don't have a portfolio, you're brand new, you don't have this proof of concept, then brands are probably not gonna hire you. Therefore, you have to really work to just get these deals to then put in your portfolio, so then you can prove to these brands, hey, I wanna work with you, and you can trust me because I've made the content before. So CPM deals are gonna be a great way of obtaining these. Now, regardless of if it is a CPM deal or a deal that's paying a retainer, at the beginning, you just want to spam apply. Apply to as many deals as possible because that's ultimately how you are going to start getting your first couple of deals. And then once you have proof of concept, it is honestly so easy to land deals. In a position like I am, it's very rare for me to apply for a job opportunity and not get it. And really, when you have some success in UGC, it's gonna be the same thing for you. Another great place to find deals is my premium Discord, UGC Revenue Room. Now, I say premium, but it is free. If you go to the job postings, you will find an insane amount of posts being shared. And a lot of times these are a lot higher quality deals than what is on a platform like SideShift. And people in UGC Revenue Room can testify to this because it's not my words, it's theirs. People talk about this all the time. Just yesterday, I posted 6 job postings. One of the jobs was paying $500 per video. But don't worry, because there is also a ton of beginner-friendly deals. And a lot of times people will report to me that they were able to get their first UGC deal or their first paid UGC deal on a retainer through UGC Revenue Room. So ultimately, if I were you, I would get on SideShift, I would get on UGC Revenue Room. In UGC Revenue Room, we do have a trusted marketplaces channel where you can go through and see other marketplaces such as NewWave, such as LaunchPoint. So you can ultimately, start applying for as many deals as possible. Now I'm gonna leave you with this because I don't wanna flood you with too much information or take up too much of your time. But just understand, if a year ago I was living in my in-laws' basement, just getting this content stuff figured out, and now I've done millions upon millions upon millions of views. I have the 5-bedroom house. My wife doesn't have to work anymore. We're able to travel more. We've got a trip coming up just at the end of this month. I mean, if life can change so dramatically for me, then why can't it change for you? So just remember, the best thing you can do is get started now and start putting one foot in front of the other and use your resources. I hope that you join UGC Revenue Room because it is amazing, amazing, amazing. And it's just this great resource for you to use and ultimately leverage to start being a successful paid UGC creator.